Game of Thrones Season 8. I haven't been on to talk about it since episode 3, but it's gotten bad, really bad. It ruins the whole show. Season 8 is ruining the whole show right now. And characters, one of my favorite characters was Ser Jorah. And now his sacrifice means absolutely nothing. With what Daenerys did, they pretty much defaced his grave, pissed on his corpse, left him pants down, ass up. That's what's going on there, because when Daenerys goes full on psycho and starts burning all these people alive, completely out of character for her to do, burning men and women, innocent children, women with babies, it's just god awful. What were they thinking? I mean, it appears that they don't care about actually paying off all the arcs they've built up or anything like that. They just want to subvert your expectations. Maybe they've been hanging out with Rian Johnson now that they're involved with Star Wars. Maybe they really just don't care anymore, and they're ready to move on, so they don't care at all. Maybe they just really think the best way to handle this is to surprise people, even though it's god awful writing and you shouldn't do it. You should actually pay off on the arcs you built up for all these years, and they're just throwing all that stuff out the window. It's god awful. It's like saying you're gonna build somebody a house. You spend years building them that perfect house, and then you invite them over, let them take a tour of the house. And then once they're outside, you burn the house down right in front of their eyes. It's garbage. I mean, the Blu-ray and DVD sales are going to plummet. I can see that, because nobody's going to want to go back and watch this show knowing where it leads. Nobody's going to want to go back and watch where they started their journeys, because their arcs are a road to nowhere. Essentially a road to nowhere. Nobody's going to want to go back and rewatch all that stuff knowing this is going to happen. Nobody wants to plant seeds for a garden to watch that garden flourish before they can pluck any yields from it. It's met with a flamethrower. Nobody's going to plant a garden knowing it's going to be met with a flamethrower once it does flourish. So it's just the things they've done. At first it started with episode 3, Arya Stark killing the Night King. And, it wasn't too much of a grievance, because, Arya is skilled. However, everything did suggest that Jon was meant to do this. This was his thing. This was what he was resurrected for. And the characters that die in that episode, they're characters that narrowly escape things, such as Ser Jorah. I mean, when he died defending Daenerys, it felt like Daenerys essentially played no role in that fight with the Night King, really. She was merely a distraction. She had nothing. And then an episode later, she loses her friend. She loses her dragon. And the dragon thing that was really, out there is, how's this dragon going to be taken out by a fleet of ships when her dragon can avoid all these ships, and an episode later destroy a whole fleet of ships, not to mention all these ones mounted on the wall? Just, it makes that stand out so much more after you watch episode 5. You go back to episode 4, you're like, yeah, that dragon shouldn't have been taken out like that. That's just a disgusting scene to insult people's intelligence. It's just, so, and I knew there was going to be a blood feud, that Daenerys was at the point where she would sacrifice innocents that get in her way. There'll be casualties, not just burn them to the ground. Yes, she's willing to have casualties, innocent casualties. But I never thought that she would claim victory without there having to be any real casualties, and then just start slaughtering everybody for the hell of it, for no reason at all, because they were already ringing the bells, people were already surrendered. There's absolutely no reason for her to do something completely out of character like this. You could have paid it off where she sacrificed a bunch of people to get at Cersei. But that wasn't even the case. That wasn't even the case. It just, she already won and just starts burning everybody alive. And for characters like Cersei to go out with a whimper instead of a bang, what are we doing here? I mean, that was garbage to me. I have Jaime, all of his redemptive stuff. He's been on this arc since season 2. Finally hooks up with Brianna, who he bonded with on this journey. And he goes back to Cersei to die, making out with her, buried under the Red Keep, under rubble. I mean, I knew that's where Cersei's tomb would ultimately be. But for her to go out like that, she didn't do anything this season at all. I thought she was going to be the ultimate villain after they killed off the Night King. I thought the Night King should have been the ultimate villain because they built up all the supernatural stuff in the backdrop. And, you know, they were doing all this political infighting while this very serious threat that somebody like Jon Snow, a bastard nobody would particularly care to listen to, came and tried to warn everybody about. And, you know, it's just, they really dropped the ball because you had all this stuff building up for to be the ultimate battle. The Night King didn't give a damn about the throne. And the throne, all the fighting for a stupid throne, was pretty much a game in comparison to him. But then to not even have Cersei be the ultimate villain, to have Daenerys be the ultimate villain, God, it's just, this show has gotten so damn bad in the writing. It's shocking that they could have ever given us that many years of great content before to just have it all thrown out the window here near the end. It's complete garbage. Even characters like Jon Snow, like behaving as if he's traumatized, to Grey Worm and them slaughtering the soldiers who have surrendered before him. Right before his eyes, he's hesitant, he's confused, he's distraught, he's behaving as if he's gonna pass out and he can't handle the situation. We're talking about Jon Snow here, the guy who's been through all this god-awful stuff already, who was literally shanked by all of his brothers of the Night's Watch. I don't believe for a second that Jon would just kind of yell people to stop while continuing to defend himself against soldiers who are coming at him. Jon's the type of guy that would take on Grey Worm and the Unsullied, all these people, while even taking on the soldiers. He doesn't do that until like damn near the end of the episode. He takes out one of those soldiers to save a woman that likely dead, buried in rubble and ash, burned to a crisp with what Daenerys did. But I believe Jon would take on both sides until, you know, the soldiers realize that he's fighting with them. But Jon feels neutered this season. He's had nothing real going on for him. And let's talk about how they just burn. Jon stands by, Tyrion stands by, and they let an innocent man get burned alive by a dragon, all because he wants Jon to sit on the throne, and Jon refuses. Okay, no harm done. Sure, he can expose the secret, and sure, I get why that threatens Daenerys, and I can see why she would do this, but why Tyrion and Jon Snow would just stand by, let this dude who hasn't done anything to deserve this get burned alive? Come on, man. Come on. That's how you're going to end the Master of Secrets, his arc. So that sucked. Everything this season has really sucked. I didn't get what the hell the whole deal was with the Arya and the White Horse, and But all these characters, all their development, it's been thrown out the window. Jamie, he hooked up with, finally hooked up with Brianna. If I remember correctly, that's what her name is. But he finally hooked up with her, and just to go die with his sister, to go, is stupid. The show has gone bad. It's really bad, and at this point, there's nothing that can save it. The final episode's going to be garbage because you can't pay this off. Sure, you can have John slay Daenerys or whatever, but nothing's going to be as good as it could have been. Cersei dead. Instead, Jamie should have been the Queen Slayer. It made perfect sense. That's where everything was leading to. Jamie should have been the Queen Slayer, not just dying there with his sister. It's just, God, what the hell? What's with Tyrion this season? He's done absolutely nothing useful. He's just kind of, oh, well, I hope for the best, while everything goes to shit before my eyes. I hope for the best, and I feel so sad. Come on, man. You're smarter than this. Like, they've had him do nothing this season that's useful. Anyways, Game of Thrones is dead. That happened. Didn't see that coming. And these guys are supposed to be the guys that handle Star Wars, the next Star Wars trilogy moving forward, and that's not looking too good. Before, it looked absolutely amazing, spectacular. Oh shit, the Game of Thrones guys. No. No. I don't think there's any hope for Star Wars. There's absolutely no hope for Game of Thrones now. I mean, they have one episode. What are you going to do with that? That episode drops today, and I'm getting this video out very late. What a damn shame. That's all I got to say about this. Comment, air your grievances down below to show that you're just gone to shit. Like, subscribe, stay awesome, rock on.